Shut up, Piggy. What you doing?
I'm doing some cleaning. Got this old stationary bike out here. We've had it out here for a long time. We got a little bit of room in the house where I can put it. I figured I'd clean it up, take it in, and see if we can't start using it a little bit. See if we can't get us a little energy built up, feel better. A couple of minutes a day, up to 5 maybe.
Tell that ain't level.
Well, I guarantee you it's not the stationary bike.
It's the porch.
Folks, that should tell y'all something right there. I'm just saying.
This is also one of them like cross country.
You can use it as a cross-country skier or
A bike.
a bike. Now I tried to stand up on it and use it like a cross-country skier. Found out real quick I'll break my neck. So I'll just sit down on it. Sit down on it.
All right, Charlie, get up here. I don't know where he's at.
Right over there.
Okay. He out here in the yard somewhere.
Yeah. I figured I'd clean this thing up and take it in there. I did see one ant. And I sweeped all this off. I went ahead and sweeped this corner and everything out.
Y'all, I apologize for having to grab that. Piggy keeps adjusting on me.
To keep the mystique, you gotta avoid.
Yeah.
I mean, those of you that have met me in person and come to know me on certain social media, y'all already know. But
Not everybody knows.
Did you not?
I heard you.
Okay. I mean, you know, if they've met me in person, they know.
Mm-hmm.
And if they've met me on social media, certain types, they know.
Yeah.
Now those who haven't, don't. But, you know, that's that, listen to what I do say, not what you think I said, or assume something else or whatever, clog up the works with stuff because you didn't pay attention to every word. That makes for miscommunications, misunderstandings, and all like that. And I just said, if you met me in person or on certain social media, you already know. Now, how some still wouldn't know, having met me on social media or in person, I don't know how that would work. Folks, that goes back to my talks about listening to what is said, and not what you think is said, and so many other things and whatnot. And then people turn around and want to treat me like I'm the one that's crazy and ignorant because they didn't pay attention and misunderstood. It gets aggravating. That makes for having to explain things over and over again, and winds up making 2 minutes of conversation into a couple of hours till you finally get somebody to understand what it was you actually said. And in some cases, they won't never understand because they'll implement what they want to think you're saying instead of what you did say, and then get ticked off of what they assumed you said as opposed to what you did say. And then there is no ever explaining it to them because they done got mad and blocked you and walked away and this, that, and the other thing. And of course, some of that too could be by their own design because they wanted a reason to walk away anyway. Which to me is, you don't like me, you don't want to have nothing to do with me. Don't look for a reason. Just leave. So I don't like you. Okay, bye. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. That's all you got to do. I don't like you. I'm leaving. Good. Leave. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. And that's the way that happens. But it makes me think sometimes that when it gets like that, they do that, so they have a reason in their mind to block you and make you seem like the bad guy in all of it. When they do it, people are fine though. Piggy don't care. I done figured it out. You wanted to leave anyway. Well, go. You're not hurting my feelings. You're doing me a favor. And then you show me how ignorant you are in the process. Because you got to go through all that just so you can have an excuse to make me out a bad guy. You know. That shows me what kind of person you are anyhow. But for everybody else, they're too busy thinking in their own mind what they're wanting to think. So that when they're having a conversation with you, they're assuming what they think you're going to say or will say about a thing and will run with it, not realizing they're way off the mark. And again, that's where and how you're going to get misunderstandings and take forever to get it straightened out, to get past your own thoughts in your own mind that are making it too hard for you to hear what the other person is actually saying. Now sit and think about that a while. I'm fairly certain everybody knows they got stuff running in their mind. And because of that, they get too busy with what's in their own mind than to listen to anybody else and what they're actually saying. So, if you find yourself in a situation where you get a big misunderstanding Because you thought somebody said one thing, and everything, and you get up in arms, or they get up in arms, or whatever. Did you actually listen to what they said? Or was you assuming what they had said because you were too busy listening to your own thoughts? Which in the end makes it to where you're not having a conversation with that person. You're having a conversation with yourself. You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you, don't you? That's what it becomes. Vanity. At least if on rubber come off, that might, well, that shouldn't have had anything to do with that being level. I don't know where that come from. So, listening, it is an art. Conversation is an art. If you're looking for something to cause a problem, you will find one very easily. Happens every time. You also show the other person you don't care what they're saying because you're interjecting your own thoughts as to what you think they're saying. And that's disrespectful. Because again, it comes down to you're now having a conversation with yourself and not with anybody else. So think about that. Because it is important. I see it in lives on comments and stuff. Comment will be getting read off. The whole comment won't get read, just part of it. And they will run with the rest of it, not having read the whole comment. And I get it. It's not that you're trying to misunderstand, it's that you're trying to read as many comments as you want as you're coming up. And so you kind of like do a little speed reading and you think you got it all, but you didn't. And you think you see part of the comment, you think you know what the rest of it is in the pursuit of being very quick and getting the comments read. No. You just took that thought down a totally different path. And there again you get misunderstandings. And then you wonder why somebody might get mad. It's like, read the comment. Don't interject what you think what the rest of it was, because you saw part of it. Read the whole comment. You'll find a different meaning to the thought that was being conveyed, because it said something else in that comment that you did not read. Well, it gets dangerous writing long comments like I do, because is somebody going to read the entire comment? It's just like having a conversation in person. It's the same difference. You can not listen to somebody in text just as easily as you can face to face. And conversation too is proper, courteous conversation is you don't cut somebody off to try to finish their thought because you had a thought come up. hang on to that thought. Let somebody finish theirs. Because when you don't do that, well, again, you're just talking to yourself, not anybody else. That's apt to run folks off. You know, I mean, we understand why it's being done. You're trying to get everything, trying to get what you want to say out before you forget it. But if it's so important you're willing to cut somebody else off, then the person you're talking to obviously isn't that important to you. The conversation with that person is obviously not that important to you. And it'll cause people to slack off, back off, and eventually just quit trying to converse with you, because they ain't gonna get to say what they feel they need to say out, and everything, and it happens repeatedly. Well, there ain't no sense in trying to converse with someone who ain't interested in conversing with you, because they're gonna cut you out. Like I said, I've been in conversations where I'm talking, somebody will cut me off. And I've been in situations where I've been talking with somebody, they were actually listening, and somebody else will come up from outside of the conversation and interject themselves into the conversation, talking to the one you're talking to and totally ignoring you. And the one you're talking to goes to talking to that disrespectful person, and it seems like they've totally forgotten about you too. Situations like that, I shut up, back away, and fade away. And then you're left, after a while, if you happen to have the presence of mind and care any at all, you wonder why I don't talk as much as I used to. Well, there's your answer. You know, I believe in courteous, respectful discourse. And if you're going to get cut off because, for whatever reason, you know, there ain't no need to talk. As far as I'm concerned, the ones you stop talking to, you still like them, still love them. You just know that you can't have a conversation with them, and they'll wind up having a conversation with themselves. And you know, that's how you become alone without being alone, when you go amongst company and stuff. And I'm not one of these, you know, women, they blow my mind. They can be having 10 different conversations about 20 different subjects, and they're keeping up with all of it. I ain't built that way. Most men aren't. If you want to have a conversation with me, first off, listen. Second off, don't cut me off. And we'll do good. Then we can actually have a conversation where I say something, you say something. I respond, you respond. That's how a conversation is supposed to work. And but like I said, conversation and listening are fast becoming a lost art. Everybody wants to hear themselves, not somebody else. Don't want to sit there and think and ponder, consider what the other person is saying. But they're too busy thinking inside their own head what they want to think, and what they want to say, and what they think you should think, because they tell you what they think you should think. I responded to you as though they were talking to somebody else when you said what you said, and in essence, they were talking to themselves. And in that, they'll let you know what they think you should think, because they ain't responding to you. They're responding to what they think you think, and what they think you are saying, and not to what you are saying. I know, I get complicated, don't I? But like I said, that's just common courtesy. If you want to have a decent conversation with somebody and it not take that long to convey a thought, because everybody's paying attention and listening. Now me, I'm going to misunderstand a lot, because I don't hear good. And she can tell you, I've heard her say one thing and thought she said something way off base of what she actually said. That's why you'll hear me go, huh? What was that? Say that again? Because I want to be sure that I heard you correctly. Not just what I thought I heard you say, because I am well aware of how bad my hearing is and how bad I can mess it up because of that bad hearing. So, when you converse with others, give them that little bit of respect and courtesy. And actually listen to what they say. Shut your brain off. And actually listen and consider to what they say. And then respond accordingly. Because somebody like me, I'm going to know, because you make it easy to figure out that you're not talking to me, you're talking to what you think I should be, and what you think I should say, and what you think I should think, all that. So, you might have something great to say, and you got that thought, and you want to get it out there before you forget it. Well, you know, if it's that great, you ain't going to forget it. Show somebody else in a conversation enough respect to actually hear what they're having to say. And if you think you misunderstood something, like I often do because of my hearing, ask. You know, a lot of people won't ask because for fear of being seen as stupid for not having understood what was said. I got more respect for somebody that will verify what it was you said in order to make sure the conversation stays on a proper track to avoid and avert any misunderstandings. Well, folks, I think I got this thing cleaned up enough. I've got everything I can get to, unless I take these shrouds off. But I've banged on it, I've turned that wheel and everything else, make sure there ain't no wasp or anything hiding out in it, so that we can safely take it inside. Apologize for getting off on a rant, but that's one of those things that's a pet peeve with me, because it happens to me a lot. And I've seen so many misunderstandings occur and lengthen a conversation because of that misunderstanding, and then there's hurt feelings, and then even after it's resolved, those hurt feelings may still remain. You're just not being told about it, you know, because of it. And that's even when you are aware. So if you ask, make sure you heard something right. Don't care which side it's on. you're showing that person respect because you're showing them that you want to make sure you heard them correctly so that you can respond to them accordingly and not just to how you think they should think and be. Piggy loves you.